Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready to explore another career path. Today we're tackling a field that's always evolving, always in demand, and always, it seems, needing that one person who could just make the tech headaches disappear.
Yeah, like magic, right.
Exactly. We're talking ICT Help Desk Manager. And we've got a ton of great resources to dig into. Career guides, interview tips, even a glimpse into the role AI is playing.
It's really changing the game, that's for sure.
Absolutely. So to help us connect the dots and separate the hype from the reality, we've got our expert here, ready to demystify the world of ICT help desk managers.
Let's do it.
Perfect. Now, I got to admit, when I hear help desk, I picture someone resetting passwords all day. But these career guides paint a much bigger picture, right?
Oh, definitely. It's way more than just fixing forgotten passwords. Think of it less about knowing every line of code and more about being like the conductor of an orchestra.
Okay, I like that.
An ICT help desk manager keeps all the tech in a company running smoothly. They troubleshoot issues, anticipate problems before they even pop up, and make sure their team is ready to tackle anything.
So they need that leadership mindset.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And especially in those high-stakes moments when, the entire company is relying on them to fix things fast.
It's interesting you say that because one of the guides actually had this crazy story about like a major server crash right before a huge product launch.
Mm.
And the ICT help desk manager basically saved the day, all thanks to their knowledge of these cloud-based solutions.
Exactly. They have to be incredible adaptable, right? Be able to think on their feet and draw on a deep understanding of how all those tech pieces fit together, like server architecture, network protocols. It's problem solving on a whole other level.
Definitely next level stuff. So you need those technical chops, for sure. But the guides also emphasize active listening. What does that actually mean in this kind of role? It seems a bit vague.
It's really about understanding the user's frustration, not just jumping into solution mode. One guy gave an example where a manager actually used active listening to turn a frustrated client into a loyal one. It can have a huge impact. It's about building that trust and getting to the real root of the problem.
Makes sense. Which often leads to faster solutions in the long run.
Yeah, absolutely. And happier customers, too. It's about combining those classic customer service skills, empathy and patience, with the technical knowledge to actually fix the problem.
Right. So they're not just robots. They're using both sides of their brain.
Exactly. And we found some great examples of this in action. One manager used their knowledge of remote access tools to, walk a client through a really complex software installation step by step. Saves the company time and money in the end.
Smart. So we've got the empathy, we've got the tech skills. What else are they juggling on a daily basis?
Well, you have to remember, an ICT help desk manager isn't a one-person show. They're leading a team, often in a really fast-paced environment that's constantly, changing and evolving.
Right. Keeping up with the latest tech, I imagine.
Exactly. And on top of that, they're mentoring junior team members, making sure everyone's following those customer service protocols, things like that.
So it's a lot of responsibility.
It is. And, becoming an ICT help desk manager, it's not something that happens overnight.
Oh, so you're not just fresh out of school and bam, you're the boss.
Not quite, though that would be nice, wouldn't it?
I take it.
Huh. But these guides, they actually do a good job of laying out a typical career path.
Okay, so what's step one? Where do most people start?
Well, you'll often start with entry-level positions like ICT help desk support.
So you're the one answering the calls, troubleshooting those everyday tech issues everyone has.
Exactly. It's all about building those foundational skills, right?
Yes.
Learning the ins and outs of different operating systems, getting comfortable with things like ticketing systems, those remote access tools. It's also about understanding that company-specific technology, that ecosystem.
Yeah, because every company's a little different. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And at that level, teamwork is crucial.
Makes sense. You'd want to rely on your team.
Oh, for sure. Especially those more experienced colleagues. You're learning from the best, seeing how they handle those really tricky situations. It's invaluable.
Like a real-world boot camp, but for tech support.
Exactly. And as you gain more experience, you might move into a more specialized role.
So you find your niche.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You could become the go-to person for, say, network issues, or
Wow.
maybe you master a specific software system.
One of these guides actually mentioned a help desk specialist who, get this, ended up becoming a cybersecurity whiz. Help their company completely revamp their security protocols.
There you go. See, it's a chance to really become an expert, a valuable asset to your team.
Love that. So you're building your skills, you're becoming this specialist. What's the next step up?
Well, from there, you might find yourself as a senior ICT help desk analyst.
Sounds impressive. What does that involve?
This is where those leadership skills really come in handy.
Oh, so you're not just solving the problems yourself anymore. You're guiding others.
Exactly. You might be leading team meetings, reviewing everyone's performance, making sure that the customer service is top-notch across the board.
So more mentoring, more big picture thinking.
Yes, exactly. And then, finally, you reach the top ICT help desk manager.
Okay, so you've climbed the mountain. What's waiting for you up there? What's a typical day like?
Well, you're responsible for the whole shebang.
The whole help desk operation.
Exactly. Managing budgets, setting goals for the team, and just making sure that everything's running smoothly.
I imagine you'd need to be good at delegating, right?
Oh, absolutely. You're not just a manager at that point. You're a leader, a mentor. You need to be able to trust your team.
Makes sense. So we've talked about the skills, we've talked about climbing that career ladder, but what about actually getting your foot in the door? The job market, it could be tough, even with in-demand skills.
No kidding. That's why you got to use every tool at your disposal. And one resource that really caught my eye in these materials is this online platform, RoleCatcher.
RoleCatcher. Okay, tell me more. What is that?
So picture this, right? You're working on your CV, trying to make it perfect, but how do you know what employers are actually looking for?
Right, you're kind of just guessing, hoping for the best.
Exactly. But with RoleCatcher, they have this AI tool that analyzes your CV, compares it to real job descriptions.
Oh, wow. So it tells you what's missing, what you could improve.
Yeah, no more guessing games. And it gets even better. They've also got like a huge database of interview questions.
Oh, that's smart. Are they specific to ICT?
Yeah, specifically for ICT roles. So you can practice answering them, get feedback, all in a low-pressure environment.
That's amazing. It's like having a cheat sheet for your job search.
Right. And on that note, speaking of interviews, those guides we looked at had some good advice on what to expect.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Well, you want to be ready to talk about your experience, managing teams, how you handle those really complex technical issues.
Right, showing what you know.
Yes. And of course, your approach to customer service, can't forget that.
It all comes back to that. But it's not enough to just say, I'm great with people or whatever. How do you actually prove that in an interview?
That's where the STAR method comes in. Remember that one?
Vaguely, remind me.
Situation, task, action, result.
Right. Tell a story.
Exactly. So instead of saying, I'm a great problem solver, you describe a specific time you solved a problem, what you did, what the outcome was.
Ah, so you're painting a picture for them.
Exactly. Show, don't tell. Right.
Always. Okay, so let's say you nail the interview. You get the job. You're officially an ICT Help Desk Manager. What now? What should you be paying attention to in the long term?
Well, can't talk about the future without mentioning the AI in the room, right?
True. Everyone wants to know, is AI going to replace humans in tech support?
It's the big question. And, the guides actually had some interesting thoughts on that.
Oh, do tell.
Well, while it seems likely AI will automate a lot of tasks, it probably won't replace humans completely, at least not anytime soon.
Makes sense, especially for those really complex issues. Sometimes you just need a human touch.
Exactly. When your tech's going haywire, it's reassuring to talk to a real person.
100%.
Yeah.
But maybe there's a way for AI to actually create new opportunities.
Right. Like we might see new roles that are all about managing and training those AI systems.
Interesting. So instead of fearing the robot takeover, maybe it's more about adapting and figuring out how to use AI to our advantage.
Exactly. Which brings us back to a big takeaway from this whole deep dive, really. Continuous learning. The tech world never sits still.
It's always changing. You always have to be learning new things.
Absolutely. So as you're thinking about a career in ICT, think about what you're good at, what you're passionate about, and how that fits into this always evolving world.
And remember, whether you love the challenge of troubleshooting, the big picture thinking of management, or you're fascinated by the AI side of things, those ICT skills will always be valuable, no matter what crazy tech the future throws at us.
Well said. So as you head off into the digital sunset, we'll leave you with one final thought. What kind of future do you want to build in the world of ICT?
Good one. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive, everyone. Until next time.